Welcome to Dear Alice, a lifestyle approach to interior design.
We are doing Black Friday all month long. Did you guys know that?
Stop it, Jess.
Jeez.
I know.
So lucky.
It's crazy. Shop our Black Friday collection filled with our favorite Alice Lane items. I'm talking crystal lamps, our best-selling marble collection. Everything that we create is up to 30% off. So you're going to want to go to alicelanehome.com and find gifts for you or something for your home or someone else on your list and get it in time for holiday. Again, Black Friday is all month long. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dear Alice. This is Jess Bennett.
This is Sue Hall.
And I'm Cori Place.
Awesome. We're happy to have you guys. We're here to talk about gifts.
It's that time of year.
I know, Mike. It's the season, right?
It is the
Everyone's starting to
season.
make lists. Have you guys started to make your lists?
No.
I kind
I
of
need
started
to.
to.
I mean,
Kind of sort of started to.
I mean, we've said this before. We record about a month in advance. So we're sitting in October when we're recording this.
Yeah.
So that's why. But in November, when this is airing live, I will have definitely made a list by now. Right now, Cori and I are trying to finish the construction on our building. So our hair is on a special kind of fire right now.
Yeah.
Hairnets
That's
have
that's gonna be my
hammers in their
gift to you.
belts.
That's my gift to you this season, is getting that done by the end of this month. That's the goal.
That's going to be the greatest gift
Good.
for everyone at Alice Lane
Yes.
in the history of Alice Lane.
Yeah.
So
And for all of you,
yeah. But
Venture,
you know what?
Utah I-15.
I do think in some ways it's kind of a fun dreamscape in our mind when we get to think about what gifts to give. And I generally love to give them something that they wouldn't have thought of for themselves. And that's why it's like such a gift.
Yeah.
And I feel like some people, you know, that they just delight in the wrapping of the gift and the card as much as they do in the gift itself. So, you know, for them, you're going to do a really fabulous wrap job. And other people like my men are just like, why didn't you just put it in a bag, you know, with tissue paper around it? Because men love a bag. So yeah, even knowing how people would just really appreciate the extra effort of the wrapping, I think is part of the gift too.
Yeah. And I think the luxury, because to be able to do all those things, you do need time, right? Because we've all been in the seat where it's last minute. You're like, oh no, I didn't grab so-and-so a gift. And so you grab them a candle, you know, and like, they might like the candle, but they might not. They might hate candles. But anyway, if you can give yourself like a little time right now, you're sitting in November to really start to think about like what you said, something that'll make their everyday lovely or something, you know, that's very internal. That gift will be really special and they'll remember it and they'll cherish it. And it's not going to go into the DI pile lately, you know?
Definitely.
So,
I'll tell you one of the worst gifts I've ever been given.
ooh, tell me. Let's get into it.
I'm not going to tell you who gave it to me, but this person loves to give a seasonal item. So on Christmas Day, I'm opening up a spatula
Betcha.
with Christmas details on the spatula. And it's already too late to use it because Christmas is over at the end of today.
Yep.
You know, like I don't want a Christmas themed anything ever.
Holiday.
Right?
I think that's one of the things, holiday stuff, like people have their own game going, guys.
Yeah,
Like, just like let them ride that. Like they don't need more spatulas.
I agree. Or decor.
No. Yeah. Decor. Yeah.
No, that's just so personal.
Yeah. Or like mine is a frame that I was given and I like playing guitar. I've played in a band, obviously. And this was a guitar shaped picture frame. I like picture frames actually. Like there are some cool picture, but I don't need those blended together. Do you know what I mean?
A theme.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I don't, I like, if you would want to give me a guitar, great. If you like to give me a cool picture frame, that's awesome too. But a guitar picture frame is not my thing.
Mash up.
Yeah.
I know, but they probably saw and they're like,
Home Goods aisle and they're like, Cori plays. This
He
frame
plays
was
the
made
guitar.
for you.
Exactly.
You know, you got to do to
screams
make
in.
that funny. It's just like get a really bad picture of Larry and put it in the frame and just laugh your face off at it.
I would
Put it
actually
in
probably
Grady's room.
appreciate that
Yeah,
if that was
see?
a thing. Yeah.
Larry is Cori's fat cat.
Yeah.
the best.
He is. Yeah. Honestly, I was not fond of Larry because he was Mari's cat when we got married. I love him to death though.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
How many pounds does Larry weigh?
He's on a diet. So doctor's
Before
orders.
the diet.
He's probably 25 to 30 pounds.
Larry have diabetes?
He might.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can get off the ground. I'm going to tell you though. He's a jumper.
Oh,
So
really?
Your security guard, your bouncer.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's like a baseball player. Yeah, baseball players are kind of heavy athletes.
Yeah.
That's
like the only sport.
Or a defensive lineman, maybe.
Or offensive lineman, yeah.
Offensive lineman, sorry. I don't know sports.
It's like, no,
You don't know the sports
you were
balls
right.
world?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's Larry's figure.
That is. So
Yeah.
I would have loved that. Yeah. I would have loved
amazing.
that gift.
But that would have made it personal and funny, right? So if you don't know what to get somebody, like make it funny.
Yeah.
At least like, I don't know, put some comedy in it.
Totally. So you're talking, you've got 3 gift givers here that love to give a gift.
Yes.
And so we're just going to share sort of the mind work behind giving a great gift.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Jess is a great gift giver, you guys. And the fun thing about Jess is that she will go on a trip or something and she always brings me back a sussy. Almost every time she's like, I just thought of you and I had to get, and so it's not for any occasion. Obviously we're like approaching the gift giving season. We're in Christmas, we're in full fledged, but it's like, even if you can like train yourself to just like when you see something and you think of someone, to grab it if you're able and give it to them. I don't know. That's always just like so special. I'm like, that's not even my birthday.
Yeah.
And she got me this rad thing from Palm Springs. She thought of me. And I think that the thought of somebody, I think is the gift.
I agree.
One thing that I do, if I schedule time to sit down and think of a gift, I can never think of something. So if Mari mentions, she's like, oh, it'd be like cool to have this. Or she mentions, I like this. I just put it in my phone and then I reference that list and I'm like, oh, that would be a good gift for, you know what I mean? For her birthday. Her birthday and Christmas are right next to each other. So I have to like make each one special. I tried my best to do that. So
good job.
Yeah.
Here's another tip. Tom and we're always like throwing each other stuff on Instagram because we're always on social media and stuff is always popping up. So I'm like, I'm DMing. I'm just like, I'm sending this to you as a reminder, like that I need to get it, or I usually forget. And then he ends up grabbing it, or anyway. And that's something that he knows that I like. And Jess, you've mentioned this before, is to like really think of the person. Like, what is it they're going to like by either you noticing or them telling you, like Mari, you know?
Yeah. I feel like so often the gift, people give something that they want to give that person. You're not going to change anybody
Christmas
with your
spatula.
Gift. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She probably loved that.
Yeah, totally. I don't feel like gift giving is to change anybody's style or to give them a tip that they should be wearing this tie instead of the other tie, or do you know what I mean? It should just be about like loving them where they're at and giving them the thing that you know that they would freak out over and that they feel seen too, right? So it really is a gift to receive something that they know you just go nuts over. And I think the way to do that is just to really innately just like watch them and understand them well enough that you could buy something for them that they would freak out over, you know, and it might feel kind of foreign to your body. Like, I can't even believe I'm buying this thing. I hate snow globes, but they collect them or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, just buy for the person, not buy something that you'd want to give the person. If that makes sense. For instance, I have a friend that loves to take baths, loves them. They unwind every day from work by taking a bath. And I hate baths. I've never taken one. I feel like people soup when I'm in one. And I'm like, this could not be a more disgusting experience. My body is legitimately magnified under a pool of water and I can't stand looking at myself.
Bubbles. Lots of
bubbles, right? I know. I've heard these things.
Okay.
But who has time? Who has time for the soaking, right? But this is like her legitimate unwinding. And so I was like, okay, all right, roll the neck. Let's think about what would be the most amazing thing if I were to think of how to make this bathing ritual super, super special. And so I was like, well, I'm going to make her a playlist of all of my most favorite relaxing songs that are kind of mindless. So she doesn't have to think about the lyrics, right? Just like really great music. I'm going to get her I initially got her a speaker that could go in the water. And then I got her handmade bath bombs. And I got her a really cozy robe and new slippers. And I was all around this ritual of bathing, even though I know nothing about bathing. And I don't even know if that was a good gift, but in my mind, I was like, I feel like this is what I would want if I were to bathe. And obviously a lot of bubbles. So, or I could bathe in my swimsuit.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So I think like that sort of thing, like take yourself through the process of doing this thing that this person loves. And maybe that's a good a good way.
Here's something that kind of a little bit contradicts what you're saying about like giving something for them. One of my favorite gifts that I wrote down actually that we were going to talk about was my first year at Alice Lane. You guys give gifts to all the employees. I don't remember how many employees we had then, but there's probably 30, like 25 to 30 at the time. And I'd only worked here for less than a year. And you gave everyone artwork. I'm still trying to like build up artwork. I'm not the best art collector. But so you gave me some artwork, and the artwork was a blueprint of the first device to play music because you knew I like music. And so I thought that was really cool and thoughtful. And that like made me feel good because you were introducing me to something you love, artwork, but in the way that I would enjoy it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So a beautiful gift.
I thought that was really
Jess
cool.
is so good.
Yeah.
Oh no.
She like,
You are.
she
Sometimes
paints.
I get lucky.
Oh, you're really, really thoughtful.
Yeah.
Well, we tried to think about
And
it.
you did that for everyone. That wasn't like you handpicked artwork for that fit everybody, which I thought was impressive.
So fun.
Good job.
Oh, thanks.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, guys. What other tips do you guys think of besides internalizing who they are, thinking what they would like, not thinking of what you want to give them? Like, man, he has ratty old pajamas. I'm going to make sure he never sleeps in those again.
I had our family, just because it's so big, we not draw names, but we rotate names, right?
Yeah,
so
us too.
I had my brother that lives out in Buffalo, New York, and I don't see him all that often. So it's just like, what do I get Jacob? Like, I don't, he's a CPA. What do you get an accountant? I don't want to get a calculator or anything, but I'm like, what could I get him that like from an experience that we had, you know? So kind of think historically, like what's like an experience you had. And so I found, I was like researching, like we grew up in this like kind of ghetto city, Harbor City in California, right off by San Pedro. And there was like this candy shop that we would like always walk to. It was called Yee's. Mr. Yee owned it. It was across the street from Mexican Market. And like, I just started Googling things like, is there any like t-shirts or anything with like Yee's and things? And I just like went down this rabbit hole of like Harbor City Yee's. I ended up getting him a t-shirt, but it was really fun because I got to like think about something that was like, we both experienced that would take him there. So I think that that's also a good thing. I think, you know, when I think about like gifts for your significant other, you know, I think that that's originally, we always talk about memory points in a home. Think about memory points in your relationship too. And like, what was a special time, you know, that you had with that person, or a funny experience that they would just like love to draw on, or, you know, that they wouldn't think of themselves, and life's so busy. I think that like thoughtful gifts like that are always really beautiful, you know, and they can be funny, they can be special. They're the ones that I remember the most too, when someone like sends me something, you know, out of nowhere, you know, from a trip. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that was the best trip. That's, you know, so yeah, that's one way that I try, like when I have the time, and I'm going to try and give myself that more often, to actually think of something that they'll actually remember, you know? So,
totally. I like that. I like making it memorable. That's really neat.
Yeah.
And it can be as simple as like a candy store, you know, a t-shirt. Yeah. It's a memory point.
It is a memory point.
Speaking of memory, tell them about your mom and the picture frames.
Oh yeah. It was funny. My mom, I gave both grandmas, you know, a picture frame with Nolan's. It was like when we had one kid with Nolan's school picture a couple years ago. And like that really stuck with my mom. She's like, well, I don't have one from last year. And then there's this year too. So surely you're going to like give me that in a beautiful frame, right? Like she has pictures everywhere, all over her mantle, all magnetized on her fridge, on her pin board. She loves them. She holds like everyone's engagement pictures forever and ever, candid, anything. Like she just loves it. And she's an empty nester. There's nobody left at home. So she really thrives. So I think that I know it sounds simple to print off a picture, but that is something that we just don't do anymore.
Yeah.
Like we used to, like, that's how they used to develop film, and that's all you had. You didn't have any digital like repeats, right? So I think that that's such a beautiful thing. If you can capture a moment and then have that like physically printed off and put it in, we have these incredible crystal frames, or just something that feels really special. It just like, it up levels not only just like the experience, and like, that's a beautiful piece, but it makes it emotional. too. And it's something that they'll pass. And like, it's so fun. Like you talk about going to your mom's house and you pass by that, like the hallway of like history, right? Where you see like you in high school and you see old wedding pictures. And I think especially for not even an older generation, like I would love to, you know, if someone caught a moment of one of my kids or something here and they physically printed it off and gave it to me, that'd be amazing. Actually, I don't know if Tom's going to listen to this. Hopefully you don't. Anyway, when I lived in Alabama, there was a gal that was the graphic designer at the magazine. And before I left, she had heard me talk about the Tip Top Cafe. And this was this cafe that like we'd always go to. And she got this, like she was in a film class. She took a picture of Tip Top Cafe and she printed it off and gave it to me in a thing. And it closed down during COVID. So it's not even there. I can't even go back.
Is this in Alabama?
In Alabama, like right in Hoover, right where I lived. And like Tom and I would go there all the time. And it had this like crazy overlook. It was really just a fun little old diner. And I had it anyway. So I have this black and white film picture of the Tip Top that I'm like, I need to get that out and I need to have that framed beautifully.
I love that.
Because I'm like, that's a memory point that only Tom will know. Yeah. No one else is going to know this old black and white, this old ranky building, but it's the Tip Top. It's where we fell in love, you know.
You tell your kids.
Exactly. So again, memory points. I think pictures are awesome. Get them a beautiful frame, wrap it up beautifully. And like you're crying. My niece, Kylie, is exceptional at emotional gift giving.
Ooh, I love
and she gave my dad a couple. She always tries to make tears. Like it's always like a competition, like who can make grandma and grandpa cry.
Oh gosh.
Anyway, and she had this this beautiful picture that my mom found of my dad with his mother who's passed away and his brother. And and it's a long story, but it was everything. And sure enough, grandpa cried his eyes out. Anyway, so just the emotional impact of pictures and beautiful frames. We have a lot of beautiful frames. If you need help with that, but just print a picture off. I think it's special.
That's really good news to everybody listening to this podcast because we have now our telephones are also cameras.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't know about you, but I have 140 pictures on my phone.
140,000, everyone.
140,000.
I'm like, you deleted some.
I don't use a Dropbox either. So like they are all there. That's I don't have to go anywhere and I can just send them over to an app and have them printed. Like how easy is that? I mean, you have to go through 140,000 photos to find your favorites, but hopefully you put a heart on your favorites so you can just go to your favorites folder.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really good news for people that are nervous about giving the right gift. Is like give them back that moment in time. So beautiful.
Yeah.
Really quick, I have a word from our sponsor, Cozy Earth. If you guys have ever experienced the softness, comfort, or luxury of Cozy Earth bedding, you already know it would make the perfect holiday gift. Cozy Earth is a brand that made Oprah's most favorite things 4 years in a row. I can see why. I'm currently sleeping on Cozy Earth. So is Sue.
Yep. It's incredible.
And we also have the sweatshirts and the loungewear.
Guys, can you imagine like sleeping in Cozy Earth? Like it's just like dessert on dessert, guys. It is fantastic.
We bought these out of our own free will and choice. Like we've had these for years and
not just one, but there's a couple sets and they're delightful.
I don't even know if Cozy Earth is the right name for it because it should be like marshmallow fluff cheese or something.
I know. Slippery dolphins. Slippery dolphin loungewear.
Like, seriously. It's soft. It's lightweight. It's naturally temperature regulating so you can sleep more comfortably year round.
It washes incredible, never peels. Oh my gosh. Keeps its color.
Yeah.
I can't say enough good.
I agree. I want to get home and strip off my clothes and jump in those dolphin sheets.
I know. Do they make a robe?
Oh, we should look.
Hot tip.
We should buy that for ourselves.
Yes, we should.
Cozy Earth uses only the finest materials, including premium viscose from highly sustainable bamboo, plus Cozy Earth bedding comes in a beautiful reusable canvas bag, which is really good for when you go on a trip and need to pack up your blow dryer and all the things. I've reused that.
So you meant pack up your sheets. I'm like, I would do that.
I should.
They don't have great sheets.
Travel sheets.
I know. I travel with Cozy Earth.
I love it. Okay. So if you guys want to save 40% now, guys, I've never seen them do 40%.
No. Does anyone do 40%? That's like half of the cost.
So if you want to save 40% off right now on Cozy Earth bedding, loungewear, pajamas, and towels, hurry. This is a holiday offer that's going to end soon. You just go to cozyearth.com/Dear Alice and be sure to enter in the promo code Dear Alice at the checkout. And that's when you're going to save the 40% off. Just so you guys know, it starts November 1st and this deal is going to end December 31st of this year. So you basically have 2 months to get it done. I think it's the best gift ever. So I do it now. Again, that's cozyearth.com/Dear Alice.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas is right. Okay, let's jump back into it.
Okay.
Can we talk about your perspective, Cori?
Yes.
I think from all of us women, I know we have men that listen to this podcast too, but the majority are women.
Yeah.
We at some point probably have to give a gift to a dad or to a husband or a boyfriend or a brother or...
Yep.
How do we give a gift to a male?
How many polos can you give someone? I'm just kidding.
No.
I feel like the men like a stance sock.
I do. Yeah.
What do you
Mari
want?
gets me that. Like
You get a stance sock.
I have stance socks all the time. Actually, last year I said no stance socks or
No
underwear.
more. Okay.
But now it's like I need some because I've worn through some of them. So I'm like, this year stance socks are cool.
Game's back on again. So that's
yeah,
always
just because I
safe.
had so many, I'm like, I can't even.
Yeah.
As I was thinking about this, I feel like the idea behind thinking of the person, like what they like, that's not gender specific. Like I would like someone to buy something for me that I like as well. But what is probably more gender specific to males is that, and me as a father as well, like I think more and buy more for my wife and kids than I do myself. So it's getting the things that I necessarily are not going to spend money like for me. So, I mean, cologne is great because I would love to have like 15, 20 bottles of cologne and like, this is what I'm going to use.
That's really good to know.
That is
our
fantastic.
husbands would be okay having more than one cologne, more than their signature scent.
But here's the reason I like that too, is like if I have to like the smell, but my wife knows me really well. And if my wife loves it and I know she loves it, I'm more likely to wear that. Does that make sense? Because I want, every guy
desirable.
Every guy wants to be desirable to their wife.
Yep.
Or women, if you're not married, or or men, whatever your choice is. So that I think is a good gift.
That's a great gift.
And then just something thoughtful. My wife bought me a guitar for Valentine's Day one time.
Oh, that's big guns.
It was.
And also you're a musician. So how'd she do?
Yeah, she did great. Like
Wow.
it serves the purpose that I needed it to. I didn't even have a guitar to like write music on. I would, sometimes I'd write it on the bass, but I didn't have an acoustic guitar. And sometimes you don't want to like plug in the amp and hook all that up and be loud. Sometimes you just need an acoustic guitar to grab and like,
love that.
and she did a great job and she picked it out herself. I liked the finish. So the colorway of it, it plays great. So I thought that was good. It was very specific to what I want. And it wasn't trying to, like I said before, melding two things together. It wasn't a guitar spatula or something like that. No offense to those, but she bought me a guitar and I thought that was great. So anything she would love for me and I would love, I think is awesome. So
Sometimes it's intimidating buying something for your husband though, like
I get that.
in like an expertise like that. I can see like good for Mari.
Yeah.
Like that's sometimes tricky because every guitar. So I guess also be vocal to your people and just be like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is why this is great. Not expecting
Also,
it necessarily, but just,
Here's a new category.
yeah.
Suzanne's husband loves gear. He loves to buy gear. I would think that it would be taking away his gift if you tried to buy him gear.
Amen. So I don't.
Don't touch his thing.
No.
Like let him completely buy the
Return it
thing.
and I'd feel stupid.
Because it's his
Right?
gift to be able to go and find the newest gear and research it and all that. So just like let him do his thing.
what do we mean by gear? Sorry.
Honestly, most things.
Okay.
Camping, camping gear.
Camping gear,
Okay.
cooking gear. He's an amazing cook, but he knows what he likes to cook with and on, so I just know like not to touch most of those things. There's some things I do know, but at the same time, we get those together,
Yeah.
so that's why the thought gifts are like my avenue with Tom,
Yeah.
so kind of just like understand your people, understand your man, understand,
Yep.
like what not to give.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's a
totally.
great point, Jess. Like I don't buy
And
Tom's camping gear.
don't buy your wife workout clothes if she hates to work out. And by suggesting you should really work out.
Yeah. Someone gave me, someone
Here's a
gave me
Tracy
weights
Anderson
one time.
subscription.
Yeah.
You're
So I
like,
could like that.
oh, okay, well, thanks. Hint taken.
Exactly.
What were you saying, Cori? Sorry.
No, yeah, I was just adding to that point, but yeah, I think just knowing the person and buying that for them. Again, I liked when you incorporated something that you like, Jess, artwork, and kind of gave it to me to develop that passion, but it applied to me because it was that the blueprint of the music device. So that was cool.
Also like experience, like giving someone like a massage. I've give that to my mom a lot. Just cause like she needs it. She, she works hard. And
there is there's like people out there that have everything. And I do think experiences are better than trying to give them yet another material possession.
Because we don't need more stuff.
No.
We buy, most of us are like lucky, like we're blessed enough to buy something if we need it. Right.
Yeah. So, I know our COO, Anna, she owns land in Montana. And for her birthday, she and her sister are driving up to Jackson Hole this week because there's somebody that makes hats and she really wants a hat. And so she's going to go up there to the hat maker, have him measure her head. She can choose the style, everything. Like that's an experience. You know what I mean? I mean, as well as you get a hat in the end, but the experience of it is what makes it so different than the hat that you can buy off the shelf that will probably be the wrong size. Or, I mean, you guys, I try on hats for a living. I swear, like every time I go to a new city, if I'm in Park City, I go to a few stores. I love to try on hats. I look good in 0.5% of them. Most hats look terrible. I mean, nobody could ever gift me a hat. There's just something,
Noted.
There's just something about like the bill and the height and you know what I mean? And even I see people wearing hats and I'm like, oh no, you're wearing the wrong hat.
I bet you were gifted that.
Because I try so many hats on, you know what I mean? And you eventually figure out what's best on you. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's such a personal thing.
I was going to say like that is exactly what I was talking about when buying someone a gift that they wouldn't buy themselves. There's a guy in Springville, is a shop called Tat and Baird, and he makes custom hats.
Amazing.
So Mari, if you're listening to this, like if you would buy me a like certificate to go get a hat made, I would love that. Amazing. It's something I would never go buy myself. Yeah.
And a gift to take home.
And it's in Springville and I love Springville, Utah. So this guy's in Springville. Cool. Yeah. It's super, and his shop is super cool.
That's awesome. Yeah. The massage, the hat, it can be dinner somewhere. Yeah. We have a lot of beautiful places here. But just like an escape or an experience or
an excuse to stop what you're doing.
Totally. Yeah. A trip to somewhere you've always wanted to go on.
Honestly, last year, like we gifted ourselves, we gifted our kids other things, but we did Disneyland with Nolan, like just him. Like I was pregnant with our third. We're like, we don't get over like one-on-one time. We're like, again, you have so much stuff. So the gift of an experience for them to open that, like, is so much fun. We're going to Disneyland,
so fun.
So.
That's cool.
Yeah. Super fun. Well, I hope this is helpful to you guys. When you think about giving gifts this year or all year for the various holidays or even no holiday at all, just to think really deep about that person and what they would love to receive. And get out there, be generous. It's really, really fun and it fills you up and it's like a gift to yourself too. We'll catch you next time.
At Alice Lane, we believe that you should have spaces in your home that you love and fit your lifestyle. This can be difficult to achieve, and that's why we created something for you. It's our home furnishing design service. We have a team of skilled designers who will work with your budget, help you space plan, and curate each space down to the very last layer to transform your home. The most amazing part is the service is complimentary. That's free, people. Our designers are available nationwide, and they'll work with you in-store, in-home, virtually, or over the phone. For more details and information, email us at designrequest@alicelanehome.com or call us at 800-423-7757, or you can click on the link in our show notes.
Hey, thanks for listening. If you like our show, please leave a 5-star rating.